Hello and welcome to Fin Business. And as a part of our cybos series, we are talking to global leaders in the area of payments. Welcome, Sudhesh.
Thank you very much.
Sudesh, what are the trends you are seeing in both business and the technology front, and what kind of fintech associations you have been also getting into?
Yeah, good question. We've seen a lot of competition in this segment for the last couple of years now, compared to the earlier years where banks were not playing a major role on the send side of the business. All too suddenly we have seen banks coming up the curve. They are now more serious about remittances, and why not? For example, if you look at some of the Middle East markets, Saudi, for example, is the second largest market in the world. Saudi currently sends about 45 billion US dollars, and then the third largest country in the world is UAE at 32 billion dollars. So among the top three, there are two GCC countries today, which is Saudi and UAE. And also suddenly the banks have started taking a lot of interest in this business. They are looking at increasing their share in the remittance segment. So we have seen this as an area where we can collaborate, and we have done that successfully. Last November, Xpress Money, which is a franchise business which operates across 165 countries and more than 200,000 locations, joined hands with ADCB, one of the largest banks in Middle East, where ADCB's account holders can use Xpress Money's global network for sending remittances. That's been a fantastic collaboration for us. And a new age fintech player, World Remit, which is a UK-based company, also joined hands with us around the same time last year, where the online customers of World Remit can send transaction across the global payout network of Xpress Money. So we have seen, a great amount of competition in this arena. A lot of new players have cropped up. Banks have taken this business very seriously. Fintech players have cropped up, many of them, right? But then we have seen this as an area to collaborate, and we have been extremely successful there.
Fantastic. So that comes to the next part of the question. So you have been talking about associations with fintechs and stuff like that, and there is a lot of talk about blockchains into the market.
Sure.
What kind of impact has blockchains, or what kind of possible impact of blockchain do you see into the business of money transfer and the road ahead for that?
Yeah, blockchain actually is a great technology to have, and I think it has a good future. But the fact remains that if you look at the migrants today, there is a very large blue collar segment which doesn't have access to the formal financial system even today. Look at Middle East, for example, which is dominated by the blue collar segment, who even today go to the brick and mortar exchange houses to remit money, and this behavior will not change overnight. Though blockchain has future, I think it is still early days. Some of the banks have experimented blockchain. They have done some tests on blockchain in terms of cross-border remittances, but it is still early days. The coming years will decide as to how the blockchain-driven remittances where they are headed, right? It will take time, but we as a international money transfer organization, we have not seen any major impact of blockchain in our business. It doesn't mean that we won't like to be a part of that, but from a customer segment perspective, from a customer profile perspective, especially from a blue collar customer perspective, I think it is still a long way before this segment actually adopts blockchain. I think in the next couple of years' time, we'll see where the blockchain-driven technology is headed.
Interesting. So at Cybos, you have been a regular visitor, and I have seen even your colleagues from UAE Exchange as a regular visitor. So as a P2P player or from a retail player perspective, while it may not hold too much of relevance, so what are those interesting things you have been seeing at Cybos, and how does it help your business currently?
Basically, Cybos offers us a fantastic platform to engage with many of our banking partners, right? Today, the remittance business has huge dependency on settlement banks, right? So this gives us an opportunity to come engage with them under one roof. We are able to meet so many bankers. So from that perspective, I think it's been a great conference as always. You also see a lot of money transfer companies coming here, like we do, because at the end of the day, all these companies depend on banks for international settlements. And while we are here, we also attend some sessions, and there have been a lot of talk about GPI, which is a new offering from SWIFT. There's been so much that has been spoken about GPI, but as far as our business is concerned, which is mostly peer-to-peer, the correspondent banking tie-ups and the partnerships that we have directly with operators across the globe come handy even today. But then, from a learning perspective, I think it's been a fantastic experience.
Learning, networking, and collaborating.
Absolutely.
Interesting. So, what do you see as a road ahead for companies, especially since you are, of course, located in Middle East, and the majority of the business, I think, would be from the blue collar kind of people who probably are not financially included as well. They may not have bank accounts as well.
Sure.
So, what kind of business future do you see for the companies which are operating into this money transfer business in the near future, considering the fact that instant payments has taken so much of relevance, and many countries have buttressed their customers with the benefits of instant payments? Now they are all used to that.
Sure.
So what kind of future you see for these businesses now?
We operate across the globe. Middle East is just one of the markets for us. We also have very large business from Europe. We have business from Asia Pacific. We are actually getting stronger in North America in markets like US and Canada. But coming back to Middle East, since Middle East is one of the larger segments, Middle East outbound is about $110 billion every year. So about 20% of the global remittances originate from Middle East. So from that perspective, Middle East is extremely critical. The expectations of the customers are going up in terms of the service delivery, right? Gone are those days when people used to be happy with their money reaching after a week or after 4 or 5 days. Today, they want money to be received by their beneficiaries instantly. And why not? Technology is available today. Look at India, for example. You can put money into your account the next moment, or you can facilitate cash remittances the next minute in India and in many other countries for that matter. So when this has happened, when technology has paved the way for instant money transfers, the customer expectations, especially from Middle East, have gone up. And this has actually kept us going. It has made us innovate constantly. It has made us get into the right kind of partnerships, right, on the receive side of the business. All in all, this business has been growing over a period of time. If I need to share some statistics with you, some global numbers. In 2007, the global remittances were at $400 billion, right? And in 2017, the global remittances are at a $600 billion level. So in 10 years' time, the remittances have grown by more than $200 billion. Right? This is in spite of the fact that we had the global crisis in 2008-9, and we also had the Arab Spring in between, and we had the oil crisis, right, which has been going on for the last year and a half or two. Right? In spite of all this, right, we have seen the remittances growing globally, and this phenomenon will not come down. This will go on and on and on. And during the coming years, also the World Bank estimates that the remittances will continue to grow, and technology definitely will play a very, very important role in terms of keeping the remitters and the beneficiaries happy.
Fantastic. So thank you very much for sharing some wonderful insights today at this interview.
On this channel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.